once again for tuning in. And today, once again, I have none other than Brother Fran.
Hey man.
And today, first want to make a disclaimer that on my channel, and I'm sure as most of you are aware on Fran's channel, we are not haters of the MCU. We are fans, passionate fans of both the DCEU and the MCU. Would that be a correct statement, Mr. Fran?
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't matter if we prefer DC over Marvel. We don't need to get shit on Marvel to feel superior or something like that. I think
Right.
we both enjoy what Marvel and DC offers us, but I think that we both prefer DC over Marvel, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you prefer Marvel over DC, it's also okay. There's no problem.
Exactly. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be discussing none other than the series that is currently ongoing on Netflix, which is Daredevil. And Fran and I have both composed some questions, and since I did most of the talking last time, I'm going to let him go first.
Okay. Yeah, I have some questions. I'm gonna start with the first one, which is why do you think that the series with 2 seasons has succeeded that much? Like it's not become like a phenomenon, but for a TV series, it got like really big.
Hmm. Well, that's a great question, and I think it goes back to the mature nature of the show. It's like a this neo noir has this neo noir like atmosphere, and obviously it's just a really serious adaptation of Daredevil, and it goes not only to the atmosphere but goes to the acting from the big guys like obviously Charlie Cox, who's phenomenal as Matt Murdock Daredevil, but you also have guys like Wilson Fisk and even the smaller supporting characters like Foggy Nelson being portrayed really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it goes to the acting, the atmosphere and everything is a lot darker, and it isn't like the typical I hate to say this, but it isn't like a Marvel movie. It's almost like it's its own show.
Yeah. Yeah, because the
Hmm.
like Marvel TV shows and Marvel Cinematic Universe are like so different. Like
Hmm.
Marvel TV shows are like really dark, really for like adult people, and the
Hmm.
MCU is focused on children and teenagers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's
Okay.
your turn.
All right. This kind of ties into your question, but I'm gonna ask: do you prefer Daredevil season one or Daredevil season two?
Well, I think that season one because I think that is the one that is like more grounded and it's like the building of the hero until the last episode where he gets the suit, which I
Hmm.
think is better the first one than the second one because in the first one is like him building up and he being almost dead and learning from his mistakes and the whole atmosphere that is like it feels like just a neighborhood. I mean, I know it's New York, but the whole thing feels really small and the atmosphere and the feeling of it being so small, I think it's better because in the second one we start with the hand problem and all that stuff with Electra and that stuff. But I think, yeah, the first one is better than the second one because of how small the environment is. It's like a really grounded thing. It's not like
Right.
aliens and things like really big.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely like whenever somebody because I consider this to be a 13-hour movie. Whenever somebody asks me my favorite MCU movies, I'm always including Captain America, the Winter Soldier, of course, the first Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Iron Man, and I usually always include Daredevil season one because I just feel like it's like it's like it's a movie, but it's like obviously a 13-hour movie. But yeah, I'm definitely the same way. Daredevil season one over Daredevil season two. Even though there's some things in season two that we'll touch on later that I feel surpass season one. Okay, here you go.
Yep. The next one is, what do you think about the relationship with between Matt and Karen? How it affects the plot or the characters? How do they portray the relationship? That stuff.
Mm. Whew, I think the thing about their relationship is I prefer them as just being colleagues. When the show first started, I figured they were gonna try and pair them together, but having seen Matt with Elektra in season two and obviously in the Defenders, I feel like he's better paired with Elektra, whereas with Karen, I just feel like they're better paired as colleagues as opposed to being romantic interests.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that it's like Elektra is a better partner for Daredevil, for Matt,
Mhm.
but the relationship between the hero and the like non-hero uh, character that is Karen, I think that it's interesting because it also it's something repetitive in comics and movies, but it's the
Mhm.
problem between switching personalities. Like Karen goes to his apartment and he's like really fucked up because he has been all night fighting thugs, and she's like,
Right.
what happened to you?" And he's like, "Well, I can tell you nothing. It's nothing." And I think that it's really repetitive in superhero movies, but I think that it's interesting until spoilers season 2 ends and he tells her like I'm Daredevil, and I think that that is not good for the series because that's
Yeah.
gonna make it worse for the relationship.
And another thing you kind of hinted towards, I think for me, another reason I would prefer Matt with Elektra is because I feel like between the two, Matt really gets Elektra, and vice versa. Elektra really understands Matt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas, like you just said, that Karen is just she just sees him getting beat up, but she doesn't know what it's like. Whereas Elektra does.
Yeah, I think yeah, he connects more with Elektra, but he also connects really good with Karen because Elektra is like Daredevil's girlfriend, and Karen is like
Mhm.
Matt's girlfriend. Like it's the two personalities between the hero and the normal person. I think that that's why it makes it like a really interesting love triangle.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Well, the next question is which supporting character is your favorite? And this can be from season one or season two.
Supporting character. Oof. Well, it's I think that is either Stick or Foggy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Foggy brings like a at the beginning he's like a little bit of the comic relief, but in the
Mm-hmm.
end he becomes like a more mature character in seasons, the two seasons. But I prefer Stick because he's like blind like Daredevil and he's so badass. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's like I don't know 60 or something like that, and he can beat up like 20 guys with a fucking stick or a fucking katana or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that he's a really good supporting character because he's like the one who trained Matt, which is interesting to the story, but it's also really good supporting because he comes into the series like no one knows who he is, and yet and he just comes and starts beating the shit out of people. And he's blind and he's
Exactly.
60. He's not like bulked up. He doesn't have any muscle. He just has ability. And the of course the personality, like he's also so rude with everyone. Even if they are their friends, he's so making like bad jokes and like picking on them, which I think, yeah, I think that he's the best one because he's good in personality, good in dialogue, and also good in combat and action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, that he was definitely my he was definitely my first thought is Stick, but um I think the second uh supporting character for me has to be ooh, this is tougher than I thought. Uh probably I want to say either I probably definitely would say Wilson Fisk, and I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he's a villain," but I definitely feel that one of the many things that Netflix has done pretty consistently well, I'd say, up until the latter half of Luke Cage season 2 and the latter half of the Defenders, is something they've done well is their handling of the villains, and it starts with Wilson Fisk. And I feel like the main thing that I appreciated is that they showed bits and pieces of his backstory, so you could know how he came to have this sort of mentality and become the man that he is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good because I think that what makes a superhero like the best superhero ever is how difficult the villain is to defeat. I mean, it's
Mm,
like the relationship with Batman and the Joker. The better the villain, the better the hero. So I think that
exactly.
they handle it really well, showing pieces of his childhood and that stuff to see how he got traumatized. I
Mm-hmm.
think that yeah, I mean, Sticky is still my favorite, but the guy who played the Kingpin was fantastic. Like the brutality and also the class he had. He was like a classy man, like good behavior and that stuff. But when he had to get angry and brutal, he got it, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the supporting the news reporter from the first season, and I can't think of his name for the life of me. I don't know why. The one that Kingpin actually ended up going to his house and killing. What was the
uh,
guy?
Ben Urich.
Yeah, exactly. Him. I feel he was also an unsung hero before, and I definitely you know I hate that I hate that he got killed off, because I feel like he could have been a part of season 2 going forward. But yeah, man. Your turn now.
Okay. The next one is how do you feel the series compared to the comics? If it gives you like the feeling of Daredevil in the comics, or it feels like really separate from it.
Um, I think it's a little bit of both, because a lot of what season 2 and the Defenders is hinting at is what's going to be. A lot of people are speculating that season 3 is going to be close to the Born Again storyline, which was made by Frank Miller. And as far as the show overall, as it a pretty darn good job of staying close to the comics, but obviously there are some changes for the sake of entertainment, because not everybody, is a comic book reader.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that they handle it really well because it has like a lot of key points from the comics, but it also has like its own soul. Like it's a really mixture that works really well because you have like the atmosphere and the smallness of Hell's, Hell's Kitchen with the little gangs and Kingpin and that stuff. There's no like massive super villain that has magic powers. It's really something really grounded like the comics, and that in the small screen with
Mm-hmm.
the dark themes, always almost always in night. I think that they made it really well. Not like the fucking Daredevil 2003 movie. I think that is a better adaptation.
Yeah, the show. To be fair, I did like the. I don't know. Have you seen the director's cut of the '03 movie?
No, I only saw like the normal one.
Yeah, I think the to be fair, but you are right. The show is a lot better, but the director's cut was slightly better than the original movie. But yeah, the original movie was pretty messed up. But yeah, I think it's done a pretty good job of adapting the comics. And like I said, I think a lot of what we've seen has been leading up to the Born Again storyline, and I know Wilson Fisk is going to be returning come season 3. So, my next question will be, would you want to see Daredevil in an MCU movie?
Oof, that's a good one. Well, I don't think so
Really?
because no, because I mean, I think a lot of people are gonna be like, oh well, how can you say that? It's gonna be epic with all the defenders and Daredevil. No, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want a fucking serious character, really well built up with a serious problems like going there and start saying like, "Hey, let's get Sharawana" or something like that. They're gonna fucking like destroy the character. I think that for most people will be like, wow, it's gonna be epic because it's Daredevil and he's gonna smash some people. But
Hmm.
I don't see Daredevil facing Thanos. I don't see
Hmm.
Daredevil saying fucking fancy jokes for 12 years olds. I think I think I think he's better in his own like little cage where he's good and no
Hmm.
don't I don't think it's a good idea to let him go to the big screen to get the character fucked up and all the building that you've done over 2 seasons or three get fucked. I mean I prefer something like the four fantastic or Fantastic Four or something like that, but no,
Hmm.
no that Devil.
Yeah. You brought up a good point because you're like the first person that I've actually heard say they don't want to see him in an MCU movie. And you brought up a good point with Fantastic Four too, because we're all aware of the Disney buying Fox deal, and that means X-Men and Fantastic Four are probably headed to the MCU, and that's another topic for another video. But for me, I'm the one of the many that want to see it happen, because I like to see Spider-Man interact with Wilson Fisk, because they've encountered each other several times in the comics, and plus I feel like with Spider-Man he's literally so close to where Daredevil is, with Hell's
Yeah.
Kitchen in Queens, but I definitely get your point. You feeling that they're gonna, tone down the seriousness of his character and just have him, telling jokes and shit. And yeah, I definitely feel like that would be a bad thing if he was in the movies.
Yeah, and the point that you said, like Spider-Man interacting with Kingpin, I mean, I would love to see that, but I don't think the people ahead of Marvel Studios would want that because basically because every single MCU movie is like a big scale threat. It's always like
Hmm.
it's Loki gonna come and conquer the world. It's
Hmm.
that super villain and he's gonna conquer the world. Is that and they're gonna engage nuclear missiles. There's never like a really small place where there's threat to a certain neighborhood like in Daredevil. And I don't think they
Hmm.
would include Kingpin in any of MCU movies because he's a threat for New York. He's not like a threat for the world. He's not a super villain. And what sells in big movies is seeing explosions and invasion and aliens. And I don't
Hmm.
think that they would dare to put like a really grounded movie with Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Kingpin because the little kids will be like, "Oh, there's no explosions. This is boring." And they
Yeah,
they make movies for the little kids, so
yeah, yeah. I get that's those are actually some very interesting points I hadn't thought of. Yeah, I can definitely see that. All right, your question
yeah.
next.
Well,
Hmm.
this is a good one. Is what do you think about the insertion the entrance of the Punisher in the series?
That man, that was literally my next for you, man. Uh, man, anytime somebody brings up Daredevil season two, and I'm promise you, I'm gonna try not to be long with my answer. But anytime somebody brings up Daredevil season two, my mind always goes to the number one, the courtroom scene with Punisher and Matt in the courtroom, and number two, they easily could be tied. The courtroom scene and obviously the graveyard scene. What can you not say about John Bernthal as Punisher? He was fantastic. He was absolutely fantastic, and I feel like that actually them adding Punisher to the show, I feel like Punisher added more to season 2 ultimately than Elektra did. I feel like Elektra kind of came and she was there, but I feel ultimately Punisher, fucked with Daredevil's morale a bit and what and Daredevil's ideology of, how he handles things as Daredevil, whereas Elektra was kind of just there, with the hand and everything. I promise you I wasn't. I told you I wasn't gonna be long, but yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, I think that what surprised me the most was like how smooth they got the Punisher into the series. Like, not in any moment it felt forced to have that character. I think that like they did that with Spider-Man in the MCU. Like they introduced him like in a really smooth way, which was good to the movies, and I think that's what happened here. It's like a really like he's like the hero, like Daredevil, but the ways he uses to accomplish what he wants is what tears them apart. And I think that the scenes you said, and the most important one in the graveyard, like they are confronting ideologies on how to fight crime. I think that's really, really good. I mean, the dialogue, the interpretation of both of them, it brings so much importance and greatness to season 2 that I think without the Punisher season 2 will be like far less inferior than the first one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And again, shout out to John Bertha. I definitely for that graveyard scene, I know a lot of people are gonna be in my comment section saying this is a reach, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it anyway. I feel like he easily could have gotten an Emmy nomination either for the courtroom scene or for the graveyard scene, because most everybody I know said they cried including myself, cried at the graveyard scene. When he was reminiscing about his daughter. It brought about a lot of emotion and everything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, yeah. What I don't wanna do is go ahead without telling like the scene in jail where Kingpin like betrays him and he's gonna get killed. That scene is so good, like so brutal, so like a fucking. He's like so natural and brutal. Like he's taking like 15 guys at a time and he's like in the floor trying to not get killed and stabbing people and trying to get up. And I think that scene is so good. There's no dialogue, but the overall experience is really good.
Yeah, and it feels like you feel like you're watching a man that's called the Punisher. That's the important thing. Well, man, since we got that, I guess I'll skip to the next question, and this is kind of in relation to what I just said. Do you feel that bringing in Elektra benefited or hurt the show?
I think it was good to later introduce the hand and that plot. I think that was really good, but I think it's really good because of the conflict that implies in Matt. Like I'm gonna choose between Karen or Elektra, and now I'm with Elektra and I'm feeling like a bit more brutal, a little bit like crossing the line. And now I'm with Karen, but I love Elektra because I know her from the past. But later I know that she's with the hand, and then I know she kills, but I don't wanna kill. Yeah, I think in overall it's good to the series because it introduced the plot of the hand really smoothly, and it also became like a conflict for Matt between choosing to be with one girl or another girl.
Yeah. I guess for me, I think it did benefit the show, especially with season 2's finale, and even in the Defenders in the end. I feel that like I said earlier, I feel that Elektra understands Matt And I guess I could add to that by saying she understands Matt on a level that he doesn't even understand. Like she understands him in a way he doesn't understand himself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I guess for me, what kind of took away from me from season two was the hand, but at the same time, I didn't know that they were going to play as big of a role in season two as they did. I thought initially that season two was just going to be about Daredevil versus the Punisher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think she served her purpose on the show.
Yeah, in general, I think that it was a correct thing to introduce her, because if they previously thought about the plot of the hand and that stuff, you have to introduce Electra, because if not, it feels real forced.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
All
next question. Oh, the next question is, well, we've already talked about him, but what do you think about Kingpin, the overall character and his development in the series?
Dude, I do you read minds? Cause that, yeah, this is literally my next question. But what you said? What do I think about Kingpin? His development?
Yep.
Um, again, I think when I think of the MCU villains, I always think of Kingpin because I feel like they did a great number one. They What I said earlier, they did a great job giving him a backstory. In season one, I feel arguably it was season two. It was John Bernthal that stole the show as the Punisher. Season one, you could argue that Vincent D'Onofrio, or however you say his name, stole the show as Wilson Fisk because, like you said, he played the character with class, but behind the scenes, he's this big menacing guy who would literally kill you without hesitation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I think the show has done a really good job developing him. We didn't see a whole lot of them in season two, but I think we're going to see a lot more of them in season three.
yeah, I think that he was like, that's what I said earlier, that he he seems like a calm guy that is like cool with everything. I mean, we know that he's in some gang or something like that, but you don't even know what he's capable of. Like when he goes to who's his name, Ben Rich, when he gets him and he kills him with his bare hands, that's like
Mm-hmm.
wow. Like when you start
Yeah,
seeing him, he's like so calm, so classy, like a rich type of guy. And now
yeah.
he's when he gets to it, he gets to it. Like he's really brutal. And also the scene with Matt in jail. It's like
Oh
when
yeah,
he says something like, "Yeah, I'm Kingpin, motherfucker," or something like that. Like he's like putting respect on Matt, and Matt is he can't do anything. I mean, he's really good martial arts and that stuff. But when he gets to hand with him, he's like a 12-year-old. I think that what most impressed me and what I like the most is like how calm he looks sometimes, and he's like really classy. Really, I like art. I like music. I like to have dinner with a girl, and then he's like killing people with a fucking door car, smashing their head until he cuts it off. That that
exactly.
that comparison, I think that is really good.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. Well, I'll still ask the question because we kind of didn't cover it, and this is definitely up for debate. Do you feel that Wilson Fisk is the best Marvel Netflix villain?
Marvel, Netflix, no MCU.
No MCU, just
Uh,
Netflix villain.
yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so because you can compare him to like Jessica Jones villain or something like that. But I think that the one who gives like more impression, more personality, more depth to the plot of the series is Kingpin. Like he's
Mhm.
not only like rich type of guy. He also has like dark secrets, like he's part of a gang, and at the same time he gets caught, but he's like controlling everything from jail, and the jail is
Mhm.
like his reign, something like that. I think that he's the best one because it doesn't matter what Matt or Daredevil does, he's always on top of him. Like
Mm.
he defeats him and gets him to jail. He's in jail and it's his reign, and he's moving all the strings from there. And John tries to kill him and he can't, and he almost kills the Punisher. I think that he's the best one because of that. He never gets defeated.
Mm. Mm. That's deep, man. That's deep. Uh, but for me, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna say not the best, but I'm gonna classify him as obviously he is one of the best, but I can't consider him the best. And bear with me, it's because and it goes to for me, it goes to me because I feel that Kilgrave on Jessica Jones slightly succeeds him as a villain.
Yeah,
Ever so slightly.
yeah. Well,
But
everyone has his own opinion. It's okay.
right. And for me, I think it's not a knock at Wilson Fisk, but I just feel that what in the world? I just feel that overall as a villain, Kilgrave is a slightly better.
Okay.
But we'll move on from that one.
Okay. Okay. Next one is. Oh, what do you think about super? I mean, this is like a small question, but what do you think about the supporting actor Claire, the nurse?
Oh, Claire.
Yeah.
um I think in season one, she was a likable supporting character. I feel all the supporting characters are likable in season one, but I hate to use this term and be this blunt, but it's almost like she's jumping from dude to dude, and the basically jumping from defender to defender, if you will, and now she's getting impaled by Luke Cage at the moment. But as a supporting character, I think she was pretty decent in season one. But you know, right now I guess she's just there.
Yeah, I think so too. Because in season one, she was like a really important supporting character, but
Mm-hmm.
in season two, he got like just a little of screen time, and she was like the character to unite the defenders, like not unite them, but it's a character that you see in every series. And
Mm-hmm.
when you watch each series, like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, you're like, oh, this is connected because this girl is in both of these series or something like that. And when she comes into the defenders, it's like, well, of course you're not come here. I felt like in first season she was really good because
Mm-hmm.
she almost even like got in a relationship with Matt at some point when she heals him or something like that.
Right.
I think that her development was like going down. In first season, she was like really high, and season two and Defenders, her screen time started to go down, 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 and down. And it's a shame because I really liked the character. Something that
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like.
So let me ask you this: would you do you think they should have included her more in season two of Daredevil, or what do you think?
Yeah, in season two, maybe to be a compliment or something like that, because I know you already had like a lot of supporting and principal actors, but
Mhm.
she bring something really special to the first season. Like she was always there for Matt, and if he got
Mhm.
like really fucked up, she could heal him or something like that, and it almost became like a love interest for Matt at some point, which I think that
Mhm.
if she would have been included in season two, it would have been like a more intrigue and bigger plot than it was. I'm not saying it was bad, but I think that if she was included more, it would have been better.
I get what you're saying. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you're eating, if you're eating potato chip sandwiches, if you're eating cotton candy inside of ice cream, I need you to put that down right now. And please, I will leave a link to his channel in the description. You all make sure you go subscribe to Fran's channel. You know, we're going to be doing these collaborations every so often, and he would appreciate you all supporting his channel, and I appreciate him coming through and collaborating with me on this video. Fran, I only have two more questions left, and the next one is: do you believe the show is one of the best things Marvel has done?
Yeah, yeah. I think that compared to other movies and TV series, it's one of the best things that they've done. And they've
Mm-hmm.
because they've done it in a grounded, like more kind of an adult way, and that brings like more difficult plots and more intrigue plots, which is what people who like series and movies like, because you don't like just seeing fucking explosions and that stuff. You like seeing
Mm-hmm.
characters develop and that stuff. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's the best thing because most of Marvel movies and series have like a really normal plot, but Daredevil
Mm-hmm.
is really different from anything that they've done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And it goes back to what you said that I hadn't thought of in relation to should Daredevil appear in the MCU movie. They take everything is taken seriously on the show, and really nothing, absolutely nothing, is lighthearted. And you know, when somebody is getting fucked up in a fight, they're getting fucked up in a fight. And this goes back to the sequence with Daredevil in the hallway fight scene that was really awesome. And absolutely, I definitely think it's one of the best things, not just Marvel, the executive producers or whoever. I feel like overall it's one of the best things Marvel has done, just in general.
Yeah, cool, cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's your
All
next
right, and
question?
the final one is: what do you hope to see in Daredevil season 3?
Mm, Good question. Well, I would prefer like to have more like a season one feeling, like maybe not like the development of the hero because he's already Daredevil, and there's nothing more that you can do to that. But what I would like
Mm-hmm.
to see is like more Wilson Fisk versus him, like more neighborhood kind of thing, like really street,
Mm-hmm.
really like not bigger plots like the hand and that it's a bigger organization all around the world. I want to see something that only affects Hell's Kitchen, that is
Mm-hmm.
what Daredevil mostly cares about, and see him fight Kingpin and how he can get it back to prison, how can he physically defeat him. I want to see that plot develop and let the hand take like a be put on aside and let the Kingpin and Daredevil uh, chemistry of the characters develop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree there. Obviously we all want to see more Kingpin. I think he's going to play a bigger part in this season. With them heading towards the Born Again storyline, obviously with Matt's predicament and Defenders, uh, I think it's going to be interesting to see the thing for me that's going to be interesting to see is how he returns back from that is most, and definitely most of all what you just said as well.
Okay. Well, guys, I'm gonna leave a link to Josh's channel in the description as I did in the last video, and I hope that you all go to see his videos because I think that if you like comic books and comic book movies, I think that you're gonna really enjoy his channel.
I appreciate that. And I'll again, ladies and gentlemen, I'll do the same for Fran's channel as well. I do appreciate you stopping by, Fran, and thank you all for watching. And be on the lookout in the future because we will continue to collaborate. And have a good one.
Yeah, bye bye.